Well, I've got Margie Mason here from Spruce Pine, North Carolina, and just thank you so much for being willing to introduce yourself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, Margie?
Yes, thank you for having me. I am a little bit about myself. I live in Spruce Pine. My husband and I just planted a church about 3 years ago, starting from our living room.
Mm-hmm.
And now we meet in a bar. I stay home now with my kids. Once it kind of got started, I'm a hairdresser by trade, but I'm staying home now full time. I have 3 kids. That's just a little bit about me right now. That's what I'm doing.
Cool, cool. And you're a 3.
Yes, I am a 3. I'm a committed 3.
Okay, we are getting stuff done, right?
We are getting stuff done all day, every day. I'm a strong 3-wing 2 for sure.
What do you mean, 2 or 4? You said 3.
I'm a 3-wing 2.
Oh, 3-wing 2.
Yes.
I thought, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm a strong 3-wing 2.
So you like others to win. You want to help other people win.
Yes, yes. I achieve sometimes by letting others achieve too. That feels achieving to me also.
Yeah.
So.
It is.
Yes, yes.
So how do you know you're a 3? What was the aha that kind of helped you learn that?
I think the first moment when I found out I was a 3, I didn't want to be a 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was a moment that was hard for me to kind of swallow. But there was a lot of parts of my life that I felt confused with. And as soon as I started understanding the language of a 3, I started being like, oh, that is putting words to things I felt for a long time. I oftentimes have felt a little bit like a chameleon in friendships.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mean to be. I just genuinely relate to lots of different people. And I'm being myself, but I felt a lot of shame about that. And once I realized that was a strong character of a 3, they're able to meet different types of people, connect with people differently. I was like, oh, I don't necessarily need to be ashamed of that. That's part of who I am.
Yeah.
I always say that, I forgot the word, efficiency. I always say efficiency is my middle name. Like, what is the most efficient way to do anything, to a point where I end up tripping over myself because I'm trying to be so efficient that I can't, do anything wrong. So I'm definitely a 3.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what do you like about it?
I love being a 3. I love having lots of different relationships. I just have so many different types of friendships. I'm able to see people and connect with them more quickly than most people, because I can just see something in them that I can connect with. It may not be everything, but I can connect with people really easily. I like to achieve. I like to get things accomplished. I just like being a 3. I'm really organized.
Mm-hmm.
I really like being a 3, but I realize if there's too many of us, the world would be a bunch of robots, probably trying to get everything done all the time.
Right. Yeah.
But I really like it.
Cool. Okay. So what's the hard part though? What's the hard part?
Probably exhaustion is the hard part. I constantly feel this need to be achieving and to be accomplishing things in order to feel validated.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes just sitting in a moment or sitting with someone is really difficult for me. Because it's like more stuff needs to get done, or we need to get at the root of someone's problem. So I think probably exhaustion is the hardest thing about being a 3, and constantly feeling the need to justify myself by things I got done. Like I'm constantly trying to do these things and give them and say, okay, here is why I did something.
Yeah.
Rather than just resting, I'm constantly doing that. And I constantly have to bring myself back a lot. So
right.
Just exhaustion is the hardest thing about being a 3. Like it's always go, go, go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And a lot of times it's self-imposed, I suppose.
Yes, 100% of the time, probably.
Okay, cool. What about, what do you want other people to know? What are some other helpful things for other people that are not 3s to know about you and 3s in general?
Probably, what do I want people to know? I do not mean to sometimes run over people with the amount of things I can do. Sometimes I can people can have this expectation that I kind of have these really high expectations for people. And I really don't mean to, just because I have them on myself. I work really hard not to put those expectations on other people.
Mm-hmm.
I probably, what else about being a 3 that I would like people to know?
Let me ask you, like, what kind of expectations do you find you place upon people unknowingly?
Ooh, unknowingly, I do not like it when, maybe people complain about not having enough time, but they do things to waste time. Like, I constantly am always trying to find out the most efficient way to do things. And if you're not doing it efficiently, I might think less of you.
Right.
I might think that you're not as competent as you are.
Yeah.
In my flesh, I deal with that a lot, and kind of having to remind people that we all do things differently. But I really do struggle with that, especially in your marriage or in close relationships. I do that a lot. And with my kids, like, I get really frustrated at them if they're take too long to do things, but they're still learning. But there's a way to do things that's best.
Yeah. So, I assume, working with 3, it's good to remember, hey, it's loving to you to be able, if I'm efficient and thoughtful, and if we were going to, let's say like this, have a meeting and I put some time into it and thought, and we were able to be efficient in the way we carry it out, that totally speaks your language.
Yes. It does. It does. It does.
Okay.
So I do appreciate it. And I can tend to pour so much out to people, especially being a 3 wing too, that it's helpful for people to put themselves out there and intentionally pour into me rather than me kind of pushing people along. It's kind of like I take that role a lot. So I do love it when people tend to try to take that role with me, or even in not being offended when I maybe am encouraging them or something I believe in, I talk about strongly, just like taking that with a grain of salt and knowing it's because I love people that I try to help them and encourage them.
Yeah.
So,
okay. All right. Good. Well, that is excellent. That's so helpful. I appreciate it.
Thank you. No problem. I appreciate it.
Yeah.